When I was little, my dad used to tell me, Will, you can pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. This seemed like a reasonably astute observation to me when I was 8, but it turns out to be incorrect on a few levels. To begin with, you cannot possibly pick your friends, or else I never would have ended up with Tiny Cooper. Tiny Cooper is not the world's gayest person, and he's not the world's largest person, but I believe he may be the world's largest person who is really, really gay, and also the world's gayest person who is really, really large. Tiny has been my best friend since 5th grade, except for all last semester, when he was busy discovering the sheer scope of his own gayness, and I was busy having an actual honest-to-God group of friends for the first time in my life, who ended up never talking to me again due to 2 slight transgressions. Number 1, after some school board member got all upset about gays in the locker room, I defended Tiny Cooper's right to be both gigantic, and therefore the best member of our shitty football team's offensive line, and gay, in a letter to the school newspaper that I stupidly signed. Number 2, this guy in the group of friends named Clint was talking about the letter at lunch, and in the process of talking about it, he called me a bitch squealer, and I didn't know what a bitch squealer was, so I was like, "What do you mean?" And then he called me a bitch squealer again, at which point I told Clint to fuck off, and then took my tray and left. Which I guess means that technically I left the group of friends, although it felt the other way around. Honestly, none of them ever seemed to like me, but they were around, which isn't nothing. And now they aren't around, leaving me utterly bereft of social peers. Unless you count Tiny, that is, which I suppose I must. And but so, a few weeks after we get back from Christmas break our junior year, I'm sitting in my assigned seat in pre-calc when Tiny waltzes in wearing his jersey tucked into his chinos, even though football season is long over. Every day, Tiny miraculously manages to wedge himself into the chair desk beside mine in pre-calc, and every day, I am amazed he can do it. So Tiny squeezes into his chair. I am duly amazed, and then he turns to me and whispers really loudly because secretly he wants other people to hear. "I'm in love." I roll my eyes because he falls in love every hour on the hour with some poor new boy. They all look the same. Skinny and sweaty and tan, the last an abomination because all February tans in Chicago are fake, and boys who fake tan, I don't care whether they're gay, are ridiculous. "You're so cynical," Tiny says, waving his hand at me. "I'm not cynical, Tiny," I answer. "I'm practical." "You're a robot," he says. Tiny thinks that I am incapable of what humans call emotion because I have not cried since my 7th birthday when I saw the movie All Dogs Go to Heaven. I suppose I should have known from the title that it wouldn't end merrily, but in my defense, I was 7. Anyway, I haven't cried since then. I don't really understand the point of crying. Also, I feel that crying is almost, aside from deaths of relatives or whatever, totally avoidable if you follow 2 very simple rules. Number 1, don't care too much. Number 2, shut up. Everything unfortunate that has ever happened to me has stemmed from failure to follow one of the rules. "I know love is real because I feel it," Tiny says. Apparently, class has started without our knowing because Mr. Applebaum, who is ostensibly teaching us pre-calculus, but is mostly teaching me that pain and suffering must be endured stoically, says, "You feel what, Tiny?" "Love," says Tiny. "I feel love." And everyone turns around and either laughs or groans at Tiny, and because I'm sitting next to him and he's my best and only friend, they're laughing and groaning at me, too, which is precisely why I would not choose Tiny Cooper as my friend. He draws too much attention. Also, he has a pathological inability to follow either of my 2 rules. And so he waltzes around, caring too much and ceaselessly talking, and then he's baffled when the world craps on him. And of course, due to sheer proximity, this means the world craps on me, too.